Hello my friends, welcome back in my channel. I am photographer and stock video producer, and I would like to spend today a couple of words about lens from Tamron. It's 28-200 millimeter lens with F2.8 to 5.6. If you are interested, just watch this video. Maybe you can find something what can be useful for you in the future, and maybe you decide buy this lens same like I did. Have a great time, and let's go start right here. I was looking for some lens for my Sony a7S III camera, lens for video and also for photography, and what I'm looking for is really something smaller lens, good for traveling, not really heavy. And I found this Tamron online, and I was start thinking maybe will be good for me. Like other lens, the second lens, because the lens what I mainly use, it was in this moment, it was Sony 24-105 millimeter, what is really great lens with f4, but it's a little bit heavy and it's a little bit longer than this Tamron. And I go to the store and I decide take a look and take the lens to my hand, how it's feeling, and I was thinking, wow, this is looks pretty good small lens, and I decide to buy the lens, and I can return up to 7 days if I am correct, and I just start use the lens and take him to my trip, and you can see some result here in this video. What can I say? In beginning, it's definitely feeling good in my hand and definitely make a really well balance on my Sony a7S III. The lens is around 5-inch tall and or 11.5 centimeter. It's not exactly, just plus minus. And what I don't like, it is missing the image stabilization, but I can live without that in some situation, because in many situations I am using tripod, but it's very handy for footage. But I still decide I will give the lens a try, because I know some stuff I can fix in post-processing, and you will see the result, and you can make your own decision if the lens can be working for you or no. Lens is looking really very simple and have only one button. The button is for closing, for locking the zoom, because when you lock the zoom it's not possible to move him in and out. It's good when you walking, and it's definitely pretty useful tools for anybody. Zooming the lens in and out, it's very comfortable and make me feeling fine and comfortable. Definitely I'm not complaining about this part. Zoom is using 60mm filter. This filter is fitting many Tamron lens, probably all the Tamron lines. What is good if you have more Tamron lens, because this can save you some money for investing to different filters. Variable focal points between 2.8 and 5.6 is definitely not the best option, but if you imagine how much can cost, you know, the zoom lens with f2.8 or 4, you will see the difference in pricing. It's really huge, and this means this was really great compromise between the price and quality, because it's not really the best for footage, but for photography I really don't care in this with full sensor did, because today's full sensor camera, it's really great and it's no problem go, pick the higher ISO or change your shutter speed. Definitely it's something what is possible to handle these days with not really too much extra work. And the biggest plus is of course the possibility travel only with one lens. You can have with yourself more lens like I always do, but if you go to any trip you can leave the other stuff in your car or in your hotel room, and you can just walk out to the town or destination with just one lens. And this lens is really good because 28 millimeter is pretty not wide, but it's enough, and 200 millimeter is great for any close-up or some wildlife images. It is really pretty good distance between 28 and 200 millimeter, because my 105 millimeter from Sony it's fine, but 105 is still pretty short. But I must say what I really love on my Sony it's the 24 millimeter, because this definitely give you a little bit wider images and can be great for some situation. Otherwise, with Tamron you can zoom from pretty close, and you can do very nice close-up images from anything, from the food, from the flowers. Really, it's many situations when you need to shoot some close-up, and if you don't have macro lens, this is not replacement, but it definitely can bring you much closer to your subject. If I want to talk about the quality, the lens is really pretty sharp. I must say I am surprised with the quality and sharpness for the lens. In many situations works really same like my Sony lens, but this one is a little bit soft on the corners. But I don't think it's like end of the world, because if you have my camera is have full frame, but it's only 12 megapixel. This means I don't have too many space for cropping, but the corner is still pretty acceptable. And if you use different aperture priority or you make some post-processing and extra sharpening, this definitely you can fix that. But I must say it's not really, so far I no need do this post-processing, and I am not yet in situation I have to do something. The lens is really really good for like probably 80% or maybe 90% everyday situation. It was really many good stuff in this small package, and if I talk about the price for the lens compared to other lenses, it's definitely great deal, and it's worth it to try, because any other lens these days it's very expensive, and if you really need something special, if you don't do something extremely like sport photography, and you will be fine with the aperture, it's definitely this lens don't stop you from many things what you're doing like a photographer. I definitely will try compare this lens with my Sony lens with 24-105 millimeter, but I am sure right now it's pretty fair competition for 24-105 from Sony. I work with this lens all week, every day, 5 days every day, really. If I won't be exactly, and I must say I have really good feeling how the lens is handling on my Sony camera, and it's really very comfortable to work. It's very easy to go from zooming to wide angle. Absolutely, I am happy how is everything working. I don't have feeling it's other brand lens because it's really like one body with my Sony. And the biggest plus, it's not really heavy because I walk every day couple hours and it's so easy have this zoom with my camera because it's really make your life really easier. Before I take with me always like 70 to 200 millimeter what is with f2.8, but it's really heavy lens for a couple hour walking, and I have other lens what is even longer but even more heavy. This means with this lens 28 to 200 millimeter it's fantastic, and it was really pleasure to work with this lens on the camera. I wish I bought it before because this will make my life much easier, like stock photographer and for footage also. So far for 1 week using this lens, I have nothing to complain. Only what I said is a little bit complaining. It's just soft focusing in the corners and the variable f between 2.8 and 5.6 the aperture. But I said it's something what is not really hard to handle in everyday situation. If you don't do really nothing special, these lenses can work for you almost in every situation. Yes, it's many other better lens on the market, but the price is much higher. And same with me. If I need some special lens, some wider lens, I will use different lens. If I need macro and I really need something macro, I will use my macro lens. If I need a wide angle, I have 15 millimeter lens, what I can use. But I said I am talking about this lens like about the lens for everyday situation. I am not talking about special project what I am doing like photographer. And from my side I can only say yes, it was good investment, and thank you to Tamron for a great lens like that. This video is not sponsored. I do just this review because I like to share my experience with this lens, and nobody is paying me for that. This means my opinion is really absolutely honest, and I don't have to lie about that. If the lens is junk, I will let you know it's not working, but I cannot say that because this lens is really above the standard. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope so I give you some idea about this lens, and I will see you soon in my other video what is coming very soon to my channel. Thank you very much and have a wonderful summer.